Hello. This is a video on how to use the Audio Desk System CD improver. So the theory of how this works is you've got your CD and it's got an imperfect edge. So what this machine claims to do, so let's assume this is the edge of the CD. So it slightly bevels the CD a bit to improve jitter and all that jazz that's related to CD distortions. So how do you actually use this unit? Well, first things first, it's up to you whether you want a vacuum cleaner here or not, because from my last few runs, I've actually realized that it doesn't really create that much of a mess. So you could choose to have a vacuum cleaner here or not. It's entirely up to you. So you've got your belt, just check it works properly by slightly spinning it. And one of the important parts of this machine is whether you've set the blade correctly. Because I'm just going to tell you from experience. The manufacturer recommends a 90-degree angle, which means, so imagine this is the slicing edge, so it has to go straight down 90 degrees. The first few runs of this machine for me, I set the blade incorrectly at like a slightly, at this angle. And it didn't slice really well, and actually it made some powder rather than the plastic fibers you see here. So it didn't work really well. And I'm not entirely sure what would happen if you were to set your slicing blade at this angle. But hopefully you don't need to find out that way. So once you've set your blade, of course, ensure that this knob is turned pretty tightly because you don't want the blade to fly away. Same applies for this huge hex nut. It's used to tighten your CD down, so just ensure that this is tight. And you might notice that my unit hasn't got this little aluminium or iron or just metal part. Well, don't worry, because it's more like a limiter, so it ensures that your blade doesn't go way too further like this one. So after like a few uses, I realized that this is not really essential as long as you know what you're doing. So, well, first things first, I got this CD. Take it out. And then you unscrew this. So you've got your nut here. And you've actually got a small clamp here. So what you're going to do is put the reading side of the CD up. Remember, you're only going to do this on the reading side, so just don't bother with the reflective side. So don't do this, only do the reading side. So you place your clamp and you tighten the hex nut and ensure that the thing is pretty tight, because it's going to affect the performance of the machine. So what I'm going to do afterwards is to slightly press this blade onto the edge. So I'm going to slightly explain. The reason why I said this metal part isn't important is because, again, it's a limiter. It prevents this thing from going too far and damaging your CD. From practical experience, I find it's not really necessary as long as you apply very, very minute pressure and just let it do its thing, because once you apply pressure, very, very light pressure, there's going to be lots of these plastic fibers flying out. And then at some point, probably like a few seconds in, it's going to stop producing these plastic fibers. And that's when you know that's when you're supposed to stop. So I'm going to run through it again. Load the CD, turn it on, just apply very, very light pressure, and then you'll see plastic fibers flying. And then when it stops flying, that's it. Just stop it. So of course this is the speed knob. you turn it on maximum, and happy days. So with this tightened and this tightened, I'm gonna just demonstrate it once. And of course, yeah, it's up to you whether you want the lid down. It's for me, I would prefer the lid down because, well, it's just less messy. So let's have this lid down. And well, you're not gonna hear me talking afterwards, like after like when I'm turning this machine on, because it's a very loud machine. I'm going to show you what's happening here with the blade and the CD, and you'll sort of know what I'm talking about when I say like minute pressure when there's no fiber. That's it. So I'm going to start the process now. Just take note of this. So you probably saw it. It's just very light pressure at the maximum speed. It did produce some plastic fibers at the beginning, but afterwards, when there's no plastic fibers, you know, that's when you're supposed to stop, and that's it. So the CD is treated, and the manufacturer recommends a black felt pen. Well, the manufacturer supplies a black felt pen that's supposed to mark the edges. So there are two things I'm not that certain. When they say mark the edge, I'm not sure if they're only saying the uncut CD edge, or do they mean both the uncut edge and the beveled edge of the CD. But I think it's probably both. And the second thing is, well, I don't really have the felt pen, but I think, well, it's the argument whether it's going to be an oil-based marker or an acrylic-based marker. I think it might be an acrylic-based marker, but well, for demonstration's sake, I'll use a Sharpie. The manufacturer recommends you could turn on the device at a slow spin rate and just mark it, and that's it. So I find that not to be really feasible. So what I prefer to do is to unscrew the unit, take the CD out, and actually spend some time and mark it with this permanent marker, this Sharpie. So this is one of the CDs I've worked on, SACD. So this is what it should look. So you see the camera's not working. So you should be able to see that the edge has been blackened. Yep, I think you'd be able to tell. So if you compare this to this CD we just cut, it has yet to be marked by the marker. So what I tend to do here is, of course, as I said before, take the CD out and just mark it, mark the edge, and when it's done, that's it. So I hope this video helps you with you using your unit, and hopefully it does deliver the results it claims to do, which is to reduce jitter and actually improve the sound of your CD. So thank you for watching this video.